I shall now take the pleasure of taking you through a journey of chit-chat with Manoj. The host here is Mr. Manoj Singh, who is the CEO of Caesar Productions. Like many years in the past, Caesar Productions will once again host DC SAF 2016. The art lovers, the movie makers, and the cinema lovers look forward to this film festival every year. Caesar Productions has a whole bunch of international movies lined up for you for this year. We will keep you abreast as the days roll in closer. But for now, let's focus on Chit Chat with Manoj.
Welcome to Chit Chat with Manoj. I am Manoj Singh. Hello, Adab, Namaste. Today we have a very interesting topic. It's interesting even for me, and I would like to know more about it. Image consulting. And for this discussion, I have in the studio today Vinita Sahajwala. Welcome, Sunita. I really appreciate it.
Nice to be here.
So Vinita used to work for Big Five consulting firm for a few years, and now she has her own consulting company, and which is called WinStyles. And she basically helps individuals in enhancing their personal and professional image. So tell us more about it, a little bit more about yourself, your background, your education, and what do you do?
So my background is quite a potpourri of different experiences. I started out in India. I did my undergrad in India and moved here in 1990. Started a company called Image Enhancement in Los Angeles, and worked with different individuals, different professionals from various walks of life, from politicians to real estate agents to attorneys, and quite an experience working with consulting on their professional image. But I winged it at that time. I loved it. I really enjoyed the experience of making people look good and feel good. But there was no industry as such, no industry standards as such back then in the 90s. Went on to start different other businesses. I also got an MBA at Pepperdine University, and like you said, worked at a Big Five consulting firm, worked at other consulting technology, of course, had to be part of the .com world, right? And always sought that sense of satisfaction I got when I worked with professionals on their image. And so I came back to this last year. And since then, since the time that I started this, the industry has really established itself. They've set some standards. So I got certified as an image consultant, and really loving this work.
Yeah, and let's talk more about it. So in short, what is image consulting and what are the different areas you focus on?
So image consulting has been used loosely, just to understand that image consultants are professionals who are certified to help individuals with their ABCs, and that is their appearance, behavior, and communication skills. So it's intended to make a person understand what their personal brand is and their executive presence, and help them bring that out in everything that they do in their personal lives, in their professional lives. And we're not fashion stylists, we're not wardrobe consultants, we're not people who talk to you about how to present yourself. It's a combination. It goes into three elements of your appearance, behavior, and communication.
I think it makes sense. I need it too. I personally feel that third-party feedback is important because we get so much ingrained in our own life. We have our own lifestyle, and we don't realize, I think, how to present ourselves in the meetings or in the professional environment, corporate environment. So I think that's a very good professional advice I would like to have, and others should have it as well, and especially if they want to do well in the US or the Western world.
Agreed. It's interesting because what happens is we're always looking to progress in life, right? We're looking to, wherever we are in life, we're looking to move to the next step. And when you're looking to move up the career ladder, sometimes you get stuck in your own image, in your own, and how people perceive you. So working with an image consultant gives you sort of, they come in and look at the overall, the 360-degree view of how you're perceived. There's a part of some of the work that I do is ask the individual to ask individuals surrounding them to give them feedback on how they're perceived. So for you, for example, I would ask you to ask, perhaps Nilima or some of the other individuals you work with in your industry or your wife as well, and talk about, give you 3 words on how you are, how they perceive you. Now, what's interesting is when you see that and how you think they should perceive you, therein lays the gap. So that's what I called the brand gap, if you will. And if you want to be perceived differently, that's where you work on with your image consultant.
Sounds good to me. I mean, makes sense, really makes sense. So how do I go ahead and select the right image consultant for myself or anybody else? Like, are there anything they should be looking for? And I know image also is based on environment or the profession you are in, because it's different if you're in banking, if you're in on the Hill, right? Washington DC in general is conservative, so you dress normally in a dark blue, black or gray suit with a red tie or blue, patriotic, but if you're in a artistic world of New York or LA, then you are a little bit more funky,
right?
In IT, a little bit casual, like most CEOs in IT, like Bill Gates or even Google or even Microsoft CEOs, they are a little bit dressed down. So I guess that matters. You
bet, absolutely. You have to recognize, in fact, even within an industry, it goes from organization to organization. So in fact, just last week I worked with a client, and he went from a very traditional environment of technology to a different organization where they dress up, and he's moved into more of a sales environment, and he has to change his entire wardrobe to fit in with the image of the organization, with the individuals that are with the brand that this new organization represents. And good for him, because he gets an opportunity to present himself more. Whereas in a conservative and a traditional environment, you only have so many choices. And especially for men, I think it's unfortunate because you have your black suit and your blue suit and your gray suit. You're really dressed up, right? Whereas instead, fortunately for women, we've got so many more choices.
And it didn't know that this particular field, image consulting, was also well organized. They have an organization, there's a certification, you even do some credits every 3 years or something. Tell us more about AICI and your certification.
AICI is the Association of Image Consultants International. It's a wonderful organization. It's been around for over 25 years now, actually. They are trying to streamline the method that an individual can qualify themselves as an image consultant. Kind of like, if you will, the AICPA accountants have to go through that certification and keep their CEUs up. That's how the organization works. In fact, they also have, they're in 30 different countries. In United States, they're headquartered in Chicago, but I'm in fact on the board of the local DC chapter, so I welcome any individual who's interested in getting into the image consulting field. They're welcome to come and join and attend any of our AICI DC chapter meetings. But yeah, we have different levels of certification. We have the first level, second and third level of certification. So individuals who've been in the AI part of AICI and part of the organization, and they are actually training other AICI members. They're called CIMs, which is Certified Image Masters. And the first level is this a certified image professional.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a hard question and a very pointed one, and I don't care. I want your honest opinion. So what was your first impression of me when you met today? We met for the first time, and nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too. So I have to admit, I'm a little biased because unfortunately the meeting wasn't truly the first one. I did a little bit of homework before I came here, and I had already seen your YouTube videos, and I'd already formed an impression of you.
Okay.
So had I met you for the first time, I typically, what now, the instance is when you meet a person for the first time, within a matter of 20 seconds to less than moments, a person will decide whether they like you and they respect you. Now, it was interesting because I definitely liked you.
Oh.
There's a warmth about you. There's
Okay.
a friendliness. You've got this outgoing openness about you, which I really appreciated. Respect is something that you, in any event, have to earn, right?
Correct.
It's not necessarily, and again, because of the bias, because of me already watching you and seeing the work you've done, I think that I have come in with the respect. But typically, you earn the respect.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. So I have another tough question. Whenever most of your parents tell you this, or even I tell my own kids this, or even when I'm in a corporate training, communication class or something, and leadership training, they tell you, be yourself. So how does one enhance his or her image? Because now they have to at least, whether it's clothing or communication or something, but at the same time be themselves.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the foundations of how we position ourselves in the industry is to help the client be more authentic. My whole role is to, in fact, help you discard the things around you in your image that are not showing you as you are. I dress you, if you will, from inside out. Your image is inside out. It's not what you have to understand. People perceive you from the connection that they have from you and how you present yourself, how you project yourself, how you speak. If you are not presenting your true authentic self, that's where I come in and tell you, really truly, you're missing the mark. You're not being yourself. And so my role, or any image consultant's role, is to help you be authentic.
That's very nice.
Right.
So tell us more about your network, your tools. I think you're also connected with, advice on tailoring, like clothing and how to present yourself for different occasions. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So, like I said, I started the image consulting work in 1990, and I've been working with men. That was primarily my work for 7 years. That was my business. And I create custom images. So exactly as you said, how the individual's industry changes and how their line of work changes. In fact, in Los Angeles, you work with a real estate agent, if you will. Someone selling a home, a multi-million-dollar home in Malibu versus selling a home in Beverly Hills versus, some other area. Now the individual walking in, working with this agent, needs to see a completely different image for someone selling a home at the beach versus selling a Beverly Hills home. That's the idea. So my job as an image consultant is to verify what is it that you do, who do you work with, what is the image you need to project, what is your transition, are you trying to transition out of the line of work you're doing right now into a different line of work? What's the image that you would need to project in that work? And my role is to help you put that together.
Thank you very much. It was a very interesting discussion. Any last minute advice to the audience, Washington DC Metro audience?
It is all about being authentic. Be honest and true to yourself. Be sincere. Work on the inside out. Work on your A, B's, and C's. That is your appearance, your behavior, and your communication skills. It's what
Thank you,
matters.
Vinita. And again, I appreciate that.
you
Now
for
it's
having
time
me
for
here.
wrap up. Like I always say, take it a day at a time. Life is short. Have fun. All the best and goodbye.